All right, good afternoon, everyone. This is the chair's meeting for the month of May. We have some reports that we're going to go through. We're going to hold the finance report till Councilmember Gruber joins us. Be a few minutes behind. So why don't we start off with the neighborhood and business development? Just any updates or any things that you'd like to make us aware of, Councilmember Patterson.
Nothing too heavy this month. We've all got the notes from the meeting, so you guys can reference them and look at those as you wish. We are getting some clarification and updates on introductory number 161. They're just going to write that a little better. It's a little confusing, but it's pretty clear what they're, no, it's not pretty clear, but they're going to rewrite they're going to send over an update on 161 and 162 to make that a little clear on exactly what they're doing. I requested that they send over the list of folks that they met with for 163, and I believe everybody's got that by now. So we've all got that. Very cool to see that 180 housing partnership by the block. Nice to see that thing pop out. Like I said earlier, when I was talking to Dana, it was my kind of month, because the first item was Taylor Square mixed use development, the old Hickey Freeman rehab for senior housing. So that was a good thing to see. So, not a whole lot this month, but a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, Councilmember Patterson, could you maybe highlight, because I saw that you provided a letter of support, could you maybe highlight the importance and significance of introductory number 160?
Look, we don't have, I don't even, well, yeah, okay. So we already,
it's important. We need to talk about
well, we already know we don't have nearly enough quality affordable housing. For lack of a better way of saying it, Mr. Nelson and those guys over there, they do some of the best affordable house, and that's not a shot at anybody. It's just, they do some of the best affordable housing in Rochester. They're B Corp. It's senior-based housing. It's a nice, diverse senior-based population that they're working with. Adaptive reuse of a building and keeping Hickey Freeman engaged in the neighborhood. Dude, I would encourage you, if you're going to put something on your wall in your office, you put this transmittal on your wall in your office.
Thank you. Councilmember Pio for Parks and Public Works, any updates you want to share?
Yes. We're going to be doing a recap of the winter, let's say, opportunities that we have with the Department of Environmental Services. So if you have anything you want to send over to me, some notes from your community about some items over the winter that we may need to be addressed before the next winter comes, I would like to be more proactive about that. Sure. It definitely got better once the winter kept rolling around, but that first drop of huge snow was pretty impactful for the city. So we'll see what we can do to improve upon that. Also, I know that there was a concern about the RTS bus stops around the city, having piles of snow where people were waiting for buses. So we addressed that with RTS. There should be an agreement coming up, put in place, where we'll have some funding for making sure that does not become an issue in the future, and we can address it pretty quickly. So that's pretty big. Other than that, you have the notes for everything else. If there's anything you need me to work on, please feel free to reach out to me. Today we had Councilmember Gruber and I had a meeting with a group that helps with insulating windows to help try and push the city more towards the Greentopia future. So it was a good meeting. We had it at the Mercantile. It's pretty cool. So a lot of good information, and it might be a group that we might be working with in the future. That's about it.
Thank you.
To that point, to snow plowing in the winter, that's when we snow plow. Look, if we're going to spend ARPA dollars on anything, we need to spend some ARPA dollars on a much better snow plowing equipment for sidewalk plows. When it snows, especially our folks in wheelchairs, they're forced into the street. It's absolutely not safe. Yeah, I get it. Residential, the person who owns the building in front of the sidewalk is responsible for plowing it, and yet it does not happen, and that forces our folks into the street. It's not safe. So if I get it, if we can't do the entire city, but main thoroughfares, especially around those bus, if we're trying to figure out the ones to concentrate on, where the bus stops. So if it's a main thoroughfare and it's got a bunch of bus stops on it, we need to do a better job plowing it. And we need to treat it like a street.
I agree, Mike. I appreciate that insight as well. That's something that would be brought up because I saw, let's say in like Irondequoit, their sidewalks were pristine.
Oh my God. Scraped down to the ground. Just nobody walks.
I guess not.
But the sidewalks are fabulous.
Right. So that's certainly some town we want to reach out to. I know Greece was a big town during the winter that had their streets were pretty pristine as well, but they dropped a lot of salt. So we found that out, but we're going to try and think of alternative ways where we can spend some funding the right way to handle the next winter that comes around. I appreciate that.
I'll just echo everything Councilmember Patterson said and agree. And I've heard it so many times this winter too. So I agree that we should figure out what equipment investments and strategy investments we should make. So I'm all about it. So I'm going to turn us to public safety and just light month in general. I know we have the vehicles this month. We have a couple other things. I want to go to actually an older item, which is introductory number 113 from a few months ago, and close the loop on that. That was the credit card services for bail. We actually worked with the administration. I want to give kudos to Councilmember Martin on this to push back, and we actually are going to use the same service the city uses for other matters for credit card services and pass on the savings to the constituents. So we will be at the rate of 2.75% instead of 7%. So that's a big victory. I want to shout out for that. But other than that, I don't really have anything much more to report. We're going to get some more answers on some of the questions related to the vehicle purchases, and we'll have those answers back to everyone soon. Recreation and Human Services, Chairperson Harris, anything you want to highlight this month?
Yeah, just so you guys know, ours is pretty light this month as well. One of the things that myself and Commissioner Green had mentioned, they're going to do a better job of working with the Animal Service Department to kind of market out all the offerings. Because one of the things I didn't realize is introductory number 175, that they actually have a kiosk where you can go in and get your like a tag made for your animal, which I didn't know. And that's a money making item that they can get money off of. They get commission from that. So, there's opportunities for us to improve on, letting people know what the animal services do and what they don't do, and how, they're going to be operating going forward. So that's something that Commissioner Green had mentioned that they will be working on in their team. Other than that, all the other items were pretty, if anyone, I think there wasn't many questions on those other items. I do have a workforce development item I'd like to share with you guys. I've been working with the mayor and his team, and we are going to be rolling out very soon a workforce development mobile unit to go out into the community to piggyback off of what already has been done by President Melendez with the job fairs and stuff. So we're going to expand on that, and we're going to give you more information. We're in the preliminary stages. We're looking at specs, and we're looking at, generating some partners. The goal is to go out into the community and bring the opportunities to the people, the resources and the opportunity to the people, using a mobile unit that has office space and the ability to expand the office space during the summer months by using awnings and tables and chairs. So this is something that has been dear to my heart. As you guys know, I've been working on the workforce development for years in EMS and now at Edison. So partnering up with Dr. Green and her team so we can roll this out and do it the right way. And the purpose is just so you guys can think about how we're being very cognizant about the money that we spend. I asked them to spec it out as a multi-purpose unit, not necessarily just a workforce development unit, so other departments can use it. So, we're not just spending money on this big vehicle that's going to be used for one thing. No, it's going to be flipped over to where we'll be able to use it for other purposes. So please, there'll be more information coming out very soon as we get it. And I just wanted to give you guys a preview.
Thank you for that. It's very exciting. I want to bounce back to public safety because I forgot to mention one of the most important things happening this month, which is us allocating resources for violence prevention efforts. So very excited about this. You know, this month we're just approving the allocation. Other items will still come before the council in the coming months. And I've had many conversations. I know that this council, this body has had an interest in this. Dating back a couple months, we've been pushing for resources to come towards violence prevention and public safety. So I'm very excited. And over the next couple months, we're hoping to have multiple ways in which the community can be involved in it too. I know the mayor announced the Rochester Peace Collective as part of this effort, and we'll be getting a work session on that in the month of May. Okay, so I'm going to move us along on our agenda. When Councilmember Gruber joins us, we'll see if he has anything to add from a finance perspective. The Race Commission, I just wanted to provide a quick update. As you all are aware, we had a allocation last year of $45,000 for the Race Commission for us to implement any strategies on the council end that we'd like to see. I've had a chance to talk to Councilmember Gruber and Councilmember Lightfoot on this, and they both have a strong interest in allocating towards mental health strategies and resources. So I'm hoping that this body will join their leadership on this. We've had some preliminary conversations with Dr. Green, and actually we're going to speak with her this week about mental health first aid and training staff for that. So we'll provide an update on that as we know more, but I just wanted to plant that seed for now. With respect to the budget, I believe everyone has had the hearings on the calendar for some time, but wanted to make note that these budget hearings will be in person. So we're anticipating being in council chambers. And if there's any concerns, please reach out to James directly. He'll be able to help us navigate those concerns. Any questions on budget hearings? Okay.
So is that, I'm sorry, is that going to be our first meeting in person?
That's what we're anticipating. The council meeting in this cycle will still be virtually, and the budget hearing, the first hearing's on the 23rd and the 24th is the second one. Then we have the 31st. So those all three of those will be in person.
It'll be in person. Okay. Will we have sorry to ask, will we have lunch, or are we going to make sure we're going to go out for lunch?
I'm sure the staff will help us figure that out.
Yeah, we'll send stuff out in the future.
Sounds good.
Just saying, man, you know.
That's the important stuff.
Y'all could always come in for the committee meeting, you know, nice big room.
And Wendy's got your back. She raised this issue earlier today. We had a good discussion about it. And in the past, I believe it was a cash only transaction. We may even incorporate Venmo going forward. So we're very excited about it.
Mike, we're getting there. We're close. We're close.
Okay.
We're working out some logistics. I hear
I'm
you.
sitting here. It ain't that big a deal.
I get it. Okay. With respect to our Northeast PAB appointment, we will have a special city council meeting this Thursday. It would follow our committees and public hearing. So at 5:15, we have a special meeting to appoint our representative for the Police Accountability Board. So just wanted to flag that. I did send a notice out earlier to everyone, and the Chief of Staff will be notifying the media of that special meeting. Work sessions, really quick. We anticipate that we will have a work session with the state monitor for the Rochester City School District. We're working on that. We don't have the firm date yet, but I know that Katie and James have been in conversation with the state monitor on that. And the intent of the session, just for everyone, is to make sure that we understand where we are in that process, because the district has had so many different things come out in the media. It's hard to keep up with everything going on. So really want to hear from the state monitor while she's here and appointed to understand the challenges before we get into our budget hearings. All right, and finally, moving forward, we will no longer have a chairs meeting. We have made the decision that we will now move to a monthly caucus in person. So we're going to move in that direction. While we certainly, value the opportunity to connect, I think it's probably better that we connect in person as a body. And then what we will do, though, is make sure that all the boards and commissions, if you have a report, we'll have a process for us to collect those reports and share those reports. We're talking with Wendy in the coming weeks about what that process will look like. And essentially, this meeting goes away, but hopefully everyone's good with that. I think in person and connecting that way is a much better use of our time, with all due respect. So with that, is there any other items that folks want to talk about before we wrap? This is a record chairs meeting. Last month was 30 minutes. This month is 20 minutes. So no other business. We'll see everyone this Thursday for our meeting, for our committee meetings. Bye, everyone.
A fabulous ending to chairs meeting. The
Good
last
decision.
one forever, and it was the shortest of them all. God bless you, sir.